Nikolas, now that the first cycle of races has finished, what would be your mark out of 10 for the performance seen so far?
I think whereas the first results have enabled us to be reasonably optimistic about this season and to feel that we can fight for wins and for the championship, I think the actual final vote of these first 4 races has to be not that high. I don't know necessarily what it would be, maybe a 6 out of 10, for 2 main reasons. One is that we are not quite where we want to be yet. We are not quite able to fight for the pole positions yet. That is one of our objectives. We haven't yet reached that. And secondly, if you look at the net results, we've had a win, yes, so we're quite pleased about that. We've been able to fight, but we've also had 2 very bad results where we've had very few points out of. So I think the net outcome has to be maybe something like a 6. But clearly, in terms of optimism, I think we can be optimistic for the future.
In terms of competitive performance, this has been the best start of a season since 2008. What has changed?
Well, we have done a series of changes to our approach from a methodological point of view, from an organizational point of view. We're trying to improve the facilities, and I guess we've also understood a bit more about how certain aspects of the car work. So putting all of these together, it has enabled us to be a bit better than the previous years. We don't feel that is yet where it has to be. We feel that we are only halfway through these fundamental changes, and we are still working to improve all of these parameters: methodology, organization and facilities, for example wind tunnel, and so it's a continual process. We had probably lagged behind in the recent years, and we're trying to catch up on that.
We have seen 4 races on 4 different circuits and just about every kind of weather imaginable. Do you think the car is better suited to certain circuits, or do you feel it is balanced everywhere?
Well, the variability of conditions, but also of the circuits, has enabled us to try and gauge our relative strengths and weaknesses compared to our main competitors. So after each qualifying or race performance, we can see that we were maybe strong in certain conditions. And by conditions, I don't mean only weather or whether it is raining or not, but I mean also types of corner, whether they're fast, medium, slow, or whether they need hard braking or not, all sorts of such parameters. So we have tried to get a reasonably complete view of our strengths and weaknesses compared to the competitors. Overall, I would say that depending on what circuit we go to, some of these strengths or weaknesses will be either exasperated or maybe reduced, and therefore we don't expect a constant performance, but we do expect to be reasonably competitive in most conditions, I would say.
The start of the European season traditionally coincides with the introduction of a package of new parts. Can you let us know what we can expect to see tested on the track on Friday?
Yes, I would expect most of our competitors, including us, will have some important developments for the car. It's not surprising that there's a reasonably long period after the first 4 races, and certainly this is not an exception for us. We do have updates. I don't want to go into too much detail, but we have updates on bodywork, floors, wings. The difficult thing is, apart from actually developing these things, is to decide whether they are working at the track as well as we hope. So the objective is by Friday evening to have a clear view about what we're going to take to the race, and hopefully what we have been measuring in the wind tunnel will be confirmed.
Do you think the new team structure and the new working methods have allowed you to speed up the creative process and the turnaround of new parts?
I think so, yes. It's been one of the objectives we've set out with Pat Fry, to reorganize the place and to give more time to people to think. And we certainly had identified over the last few years certain areas where we were a bit understaffed and maybe too pushed, and therefore not having enough time to think about what will make the car go faster. So yes, I think that is working. I don't think we're quite where we want to be yet, as I said before, but I think it's contributing to relative improvement of performance.